Hey ladies, welcome to my new video. It's going to be on dating. I am Feminine Podcast and I talk about femininity, of course, leveling up, law of attraction, shifting your mindset to attract your dream life. So if you're interested in all this kind of topics, don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel and let's get started. First of all, I'm literally convinced that I've already made this video. For some reason, I just can't find it, so I will be recording this one again. But it is to talk about being selfish in dating. Again, I'm not really advising women to be toxic and not to give anything in return. Like, it's not about receiving, always receiving. You have to give a little bit. You're not the one who is giving the most, but you can't be just receiving, always receiving. It's like in friendship. It will be weird just to be receiving and not giving. It is just almost toxic. So don't fall into this game where people are telling you that you're supposed to receive. Yeah, you are supposed to receive, of course, but you also have to give a little bit. But I think that women were trained to give a lot and not to receive anything, which is why I'm here making this video to tell you to be selfish in dating, because men are selfish as well. It is a game. It is like there is no winner in the end, but the thing is that it is a game. You can't be giving too much. You can't be too naive, too innocent, too nice, too kind, because otherwise, like, I'm not telling you that all men are players. All men will try to be like to belittle you or to behold like that you will be beholden to a man. But the thing is that if you're not setting your boundaries, if you're not telling them what you want as well, they will be telling you what they want. And it's not a bad stuff for them to be telling you what they want. But the thing is that if they are telling you what they want and you don't know what you want, or you just try to please them instead of pleasing yourself first, you can end up in relationships you didn't want to be since the beginning, but you started because it wasn't that bad to be accepting what he wanted instead of telling him straight away your own boundaries. First of all, setting boundaries can be really hard for some people. It was the case for me because I didn't have any boundaries. Like, boundaries is when you absolutely, like, you literally know what you want and you're like, I want this, I want that, I am setting my boundaries. You can't go this far, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I didn't know what I wanted. And when you don't know what you want and when you go in discovery mode without even thinking about it, without having a strategy or a plan, you have no idea what you're looking for. But people usually know what they are looking for. They know exactly what they want, so you just end up like being someone's muppet. Like, they aren't playing with you. I wouldn't say that they are playing with you, but they, like, you just accept what they want because you don't know what you want out of the relationship. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Again, I'm not really here to teach about giving like 5 tips to get a man to... No, I'm not this kind of person, you know. I already told you that in several of my podcasts. I am more the type of person who is going to talk about my experience, who is going to share story times, and also who will open your mind. I am here to have an open-minded community, just sharing what I have, what happened to me, what I've read, what I've watched in the videos and all this stuff. And I just can give you some topics, some stuff you can think about in your leveling up journey. Because sometimes we just stay stuck. We don't know what to evolve on. And I'm just here to tell you that in dating, maybe you're not selfish anymore. You're not selfish enough, sorry. So I'm going to give you some examples of what happened to me that made me realize that men were selfish. I don't say again that it is a bad thing. It is not a bad thing to be selfish, but because they are selfish, I have the right to be selfish as well, especially when I'm supposed to be the one receiving the most, because you have to remember, women are supposed to receive. This is why we have eggs, and I've never heard about ovaries like playing and going around. No, only men give and we receive. It is physical, it is like scientific. We were meant to receive. I'm not going to give you any, course on how biology works, but you see how they are made. You see how we are made. They are supposed to get into us, so they are giving and we are just receiving. Anyway, so the first story time that I have is something that happened to me a lot of time. And when people talk about patterns, I just can't stop believing in it because it happens to me every time until I fight it. Like whenever there is something that happens to me, it will happen to me several times before I just realize what is happening. So I guess what men wanted from me was my body, was spending time in a more intimate level, or all this kind of stuff. They didn't want me to be staying out in a way, like they didn't want only to go to the restaurant or to show me to the world. They also wanted me for themselves in a more intimate level. If you know what I mean. So the thing is that on the first date, I always had this issue of just, I don't know, like the man will choose the restaurant, because on the first date, I let the man choose the restaurant unless it is like really shitty, because I already told you, don't accept shitty dates. I always say that in all of my videos, but I've made a specific podcast on this one. Don't accept shitty dates. Like there is no point for you to spending your time to be like all dolled up, dressed up, waiting for like going and see a man and like the date is not even right. Anyway, so he chooses the restaurant. If it's decent enough, I will go there. We will go to the restaurant. We'll do our first date. But the thing is that they wouldn't even give me a Uber. Maybe they will give me a Uber after me going to their place, as an example. But the thing is that like they would be like, let me walk to you, like to the station, so that you can come back home. And I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm already like, okay, red flag. He's not paying for a Uber home. I'm wearing my heels. You know that I live a bit far away from downtown. I live in the suburbs. I don't live downtown. I don't live in the big city. I just live in the suburbs. So that it is at least 30 minutes for me to go back home. So I think I don't feel really safe being with a man who doesn't think about this kind of stuff. So first of all, if he didn't send, like, I don't mind him not sending me Uber from where I am to the restaurant, so I can go to the restaurant by myself. I don't really care. Like, I don't set my boundaries. I don't set my standards here. If he's not sending me a Uber for me to go there, that's okay. I don't mind. We go to the restaurant. Of course, he pays the restaurant. Like, men always pay the restaurant, even the stingy ones that didn't want to pay for food, because I already talked about this one. Like one day I went to Wall restaurant and the guy just wanted to order cocktails. Like that was freaking ridiculous. Anyway, so he will just walk, like he would just want us to walk to the station, and then he will be like, oh, I just live there. Would you like to go to my place? And I'm like, no way. It happened to me 3 times that the guy is choosing a restaurant that is next to his place for me to go to his place. And a specific day that happened, a guy was like, I live right here. Would you like to come to my place? And I was like, no, I'm just walking to the station. And he was like, okay, all right. So we were walking and stuff, and I was like, oh, I just do remember where we are. Like, I've already been there. And the guy was like, oh, and in your, deja vu, did you have like a moment where we were kissing each other and he was trying to kiss me? And I was like, no way. No, we didn't kiss in my dream. Like, when you don't give me a Uber home and then you try to get me to your apartment, don't think that I'm going to kiss you. But he was so selfish that he didn't even care about the fact that I would be safe or not when I was wearing high heels. When you think that we have some feelings toward each other, not really big feelings, but he was feeling that it was doing okay. Otherwise, he wouldn't invite me to his place. So it means that you maybe not want to see me again. Maybe you wanted to shoot your shot tonight and you didn't want to see me again. But at least you were attracted toward me, like you were attracted to me. So it means that you like me enough and you don't want me to be safe. So you're bringing me to the station, don't think that you will get anything from me. But if you weren't selfish, maybe you would say, oh yeah, why not seeing his place? Or also some women are a bit, naive or innocent. They will be like, I will see his place to see how rich he is, but I'm not going to do anything. And then he will be like, yeah, let's drink a bit of wine. And then you get tipsy and then you end up sleeping with him and also sleeping at his place. And the day after you don't think that he's going to pay for your Uber. Like, you will have to walk to your place. Don't worry. These kind of men aren't always generous. Like, usually they aren't. I don't like falling into this kind of stuff, like stereotypes. But like, you gave a lot. You gave your femininity, you gave your time, you gave your energy, you gave your body. And the day after, like, the guy got everything he wanted, like good time, good stuff, whatever. And the day after, don't think that you will get anything. Like, all of this only for a dinner that you could have paid yourself. Or you could have cooked at your home, and it would have been the same thing. You got all dressed up, all dolled up. You went there by yourself. You just get a dinner. Maybe it didn't even cost that much. And then you end up giving a lot. Like, a lot. Because even if people think that no, but you don't give your body because you can't truly give your body, like, it is yours, whatever, you're giving energy. Like, you're freaking tied to him, and hormones aren't playing. When you are sleeping with someone, you have to know that your hormones aren't playing. Like, your hormones are like, okay, here's the guy, we have to fall in love with him. This is the person we will stay together with. And this is the person we are mating with, like, we will have children together. So we should better fall in love with him. This is how your body works. I don't know if you know that. It is another topic, but you truly have to be selfish. And I'm explaining you why. You have to be selfish because giving your body is activating some hormones that can make you fall in love with this person. It can bring you disease. It can bring you pregnancies. And don't tell me that you have like a birth control, because it doesn't always work. You have to be truly careful with who you are mating with, who you are sleeping with, who you are spending your time with as well. And don't think that because you are giving that to him, he will love you more. I've never heard a more stupid stuff in my whole life. Like, it is so dumb to think this. I hope you can't think this, because it is freaking dumb. Maybe you want to give it to him, of course, do whatever you want, you're an adult, but don't think it is going to attach him to you. Like, not at all. So be selfish. Maybe you want something from this guy. Maybe you want love. Maybe you want his time. Maybe you want his money. Maybe you want to get like the luxury lifestyle. Maybe you want to get, I don't know, professional opportunities. I have no idea what you want from this man. Maybe you just want like something. I don't know. Everyone is different. Maybe you are dating for a specific reason. Maybe you want marriage. I have no idea what you're looking for. But the thing is that if you have a specific goal, if you have a plan, if you have a strategy, you should never be giving everything. You must know what this guy is looking for. And when you know what he's looking for, you have to know what you are looking for as well. And then you will not be giving what he wants when you don't get what you want. You have to set your boundaries. This is why it is important for me to have a plan and to have a proper strategy. If you want something, write it on paper. I'm not kidding. Write it on paper. I want my driving license to be paid. I want my rent to be paid. I want a monthly allowance from this man. I want to go in this specific restaurant. I want to get this specific luxury bag. You know what you want. Write it on paper. It is not a joke. If you have a journal, even if you don't have one, take a sheet of paper, write whatever you want. Write whatever you want. Write why you started dating, because I told you, I've made a podcast on this one. I don't want you to be making the same mistake as I did. I was so lost in dating. I was just dating for dating. I had no idea what I wanted. I ended up getting lost. I ended up wasting my time and wasting my energy into dates that I knew would never go anywhere, because the man was stingy on the phone already. And I thought that, no, maybe I can change him. Maybe I can get this little thing from him. I have no idea what this little thing could be. But I was like, it's not so bad to be having dinner. But now you have to know something. I don't even care about a man like inviting me to a restaurant. Every man I've met invited me to a restaurant. It's not even like, it is, I don't know how to explain. It's not even something special. It is just the bare minimum to be inviting me to a restaurant. You know what I mean? I've met so many restaurants that now I even get bored in restaurant. It is so annoying for me to be sitting in a restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, I have to choose my food and whatever. I prefer cooking at home and eat, instead of having to go till there, meeting someone new, having to talk about stuff, flirting a little bit, smiling, whatever. Like, at some point, I was so freaking annoyed. I was like, it is becoming boring. I didn't have any strategy. Now that I have a strategy, everything is written on paper. I have everything written on paper. It is not a joke. everything that I would like to get from this man, I have it written on paper, and I am freaking selfish. If I don't get it right, like straight away, or if we're not talking about it, or if I talk about it and he starts being a bit weird, or he's like, oh my god, you're so selfish, or you're high maintenance, or you're a gold digger, I just don't even care. I'm like, okay, you're out. There are so many men out there. Like, how can I just stay on you? And I've made a podcast on this one as well about the mission. You have no reason to be staying in a place where you don't get what you want. He is taking the place of the person who is supposed to be sitting there. There are seats in your heart or in your life. Maybe you can handle 3 persons. If you have 3 persons wasting your time, you should better get rid of one, at least, to make a new one enter your life. You know what I mean? So you truly have to be selfish. It is really important. Men are selfish. It's not a bad thing to be selfish. You have to be selfish. Otherwise, you end up being the Muppets of everyone. They are playing you. They are telling you what to do. They are giving you the directions you are supposed to take when you are supposed to be like taking full responsibility for your life. If ever you end up in a situation where you didn't want to be just because you thought that he was nice and you think that it's not that bad to be doing what he wants because I don't know what I want myself, and then you start blaming him, you should better start blaming you because it was your fault. Because nobody can truly control you. Like, what are there wizards or something? Is there any sorcery that I didn't heard about where people just control you? No way. If you got manipulated, it was a bit of your fault. Sorry for telling you this. Tough love again. This is the meaning of my channel. This is what I do on my channel, tough love. I'm sorry. If ever the guy is manipulating you, it means that you let him do that. Like predators, they don't go take the strong prey. Their preys are freaking weak. And it's not a bad thing to be weak. You can become stronger with time, with boundaries, with femininity. Femininity doesn't always mean weak. Vulnerability doesn't mean weak. Being vulnerable is a strength, in my opinion. Anyway, so these men are selfish. This is the story time that I had. I already made this video, but I don't know, I had to record it again. And I think this version is better. So I'm glad that I lost the recording so that I can do this one. I hope you liked it. I hope it opened your mind to how you're supposed to date and to have a new strategy, to have a plan. Don't hesitate to like this video, to comment down below what you'd like to get from men. If you can't write it on paper, write it on this comment, and I will be coming back and checking up on you to be sure that you're getting what you wanted. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video to someone who needs it. Thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Bye!